we still recording? Uh-oh. We're not recording anymore. Stopped recording a long time ago. Oops.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
I don't know, but my phone stopped the... I don't know. Anyway, but that's still recording.
Oh.
I'll cut it out. Maybe. Or maybe I'll leave it in. You know me. I'm so bad. I just leave everything in there. I'm like, listen. You're gonna get it all. I was like, I don't got time to edit out all of my silly moments, so. Anyway.
Salutations, starlings. I'm Sweetling, and this is...
Okay. Hi, hello. It has been a minute since my last video. I just posted one today, the 28th, April 28th, that's when I'm filming. I just posted one that I had made at the start of April about my thrift haul. So there's that. I didn't do my March reads video. And I think I'm gonna wait until after the end of April to do what I read in April, because I technically still have 2 days. But guess what? I didn't finish anything yet. So I don't know how this is going, you know? Again, another new filming location. Oh, hold on. Hold on. There we go. You don't need to see my toes, so. What? Don't shake your head at me. My partner is over there, off camera, doing whatever, you know, stuff, work, whatever. But anyway, the whole point of this video, since I'm not doing March or April reads at the moment, because those, at this point, those videos are redundant until I start reading more than I want to say 3 books a month. And right now, I'm just not at that point. I'm hoping to get there, but right now, my brain and my schedule are just not aligning. So, to help you get to know me a bit more, I'm going to give you my 5-star reads. I'm going to tell you the books that I labeled as 5 stars and why. And then hopefully, some point in the future, I can redo this video and see if those 5-star reads are still 5 stars for me, because some of these are older and some of these are newer. You know, been reading since I was what, like hardcore reading since I was, I don't know, 11. So, and some of these books I've read I just didn't rate. So these are the ones that I've written as 5 stars. Let's see. First and most recent is A Dowery of Blood. I want to do a video on this one. I really enjoyed this one. It is by S.T. Gibbons, and it is basically a Dracula retelling. One thing you'll learn about me is I am obsessed with vampires. Love them. Maybe a tad bit unhealthily. But, so you could see where my intrigue was, is like vampires, Dracula, because it's technically about Dracula, but really it's about Dracula's wife. I'm trying to think, should I read you the description? I'll read you the first line, because I think that's what really, like, sold it for me. And then after reading it, I was like, oh, love this down. A lyrical and dreamy reimagining of Dracula's brides, A Dowery of Blood is a story of desire, obsession, and emancipation. Really loved the main character, her story, Constanza, and basically how you see the evolution of Dracula with all of his brides, and the ending. I'm trying not to spoil it, so I'm not going to say anything more. But if I remember correctly, if I remember correctly, you get part of the ending at the start of the story. Like she explains it, because it's mostly through her point of view. I don't think we switch point of views. I believe the entire story is through Constanza's POV, and she kind of just lays it out for you in the beginning, and it's like, this is what happened, but I'm going to tell you how we got here. And I just think it's a really great reimagining of Dracula, like technically Dracula's story, but more about Dracula's brides. And if you like stories of, you know, strong, powerful women getting their revenge, doing what they actually want to do, and not what a man tells them to do, it's great. And if you like books that have consensual polyamory, this has it. So 5 stars, without spoiling it. It's a mix of like plot and character driven. I love the characters. The characters are complicated, complex, really deep. And we see a really great like character arc for Constanza, as when she started the book versus when she ended the book. And there is a bit of diversity, which is always nice. So yes, A Dowery of Blood, 5 stars. Second one, The Salt Grows Heavy by Cassandra Khaw. It's spelled Khaw, Khaw. So I'm going to say Khaw. This one's a short book. I think it's less than 200 pages. But I love this book so much. It's about a mermaid and a plague doctor. It's really strange. I'd say if you enjoyed the complexity of This Is How to Lose the Time War, and you like fantasy, compared to like if you like sci-fi, then This Is How to Lose Time War, great. But if you like fantasy, I think this kind of fits within that realm of like, what am I reading? What's going on? But I kind of like it. It's about this mermaid. I don't actually remember if we get her name. And she is leaving this city that she was captured in, with this plague doctor, because she's just like, whatever, I'm over it, what happened, and I'm moving forward. It's a mix between like plot and character driven. I love the characterization of the mermaid and the plague doctor, and they're like weird, it's kind of, I wouldn't say symbiotic relationship, but it's kind of symbiotic. It doesn't really focus on, it focuses a little bit on the plague doctor's floor. No, I I wouldn't say is flawed, but they're basically what's wrong with them isn't the point of the story. And the diversity, it's very complex in terms of who the other characters are. And character development, they kind of just are who they are, and you either like it or you don't, which is kind of funny. This one, I'll read you the entire description that it has, because like I said, the book is so short, you might as well just, you may think you know how fairy tale goes. A mermaid comes to shore and weds the prince, but what the fable forgets is that mermaids have teeth. And now her daughters have devoured the kingdom and burned it to ashes. On the run, the mermaid is joined by a mysterious plague doctor with a darkness of their own. Deep in the eerie snow-crested forest, the pair stumble upon a village of ageless children who thirst for blood and the 3 saints who control them. The mermaid and her doctor must embrace the cruelest parts of their true nature if they hope to survive. It's great. You should read it. It's not a long book, so, if you didn't like it, you don't feel like you lost years of your lives. I love it. I can't wait to reread it. Moving on. The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. Love me, T.J. Klune. Love that man. At this point, anything that he writes, I'll read it. I haven't read all of his books yet, but I have read a few, and they're all good. All great. So, The House in the Cerulean Sea is the description. I'll read you the description first. I should probably start with the descriptions first for these books. But I'm learning. I'll get there. I'm a hot mess. I'm all over the place. It's chaos incarnate. So that's all I have to say. I see you nodding over there. Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the Department of Charge of Magical Youth. He's tasked with determining whether 6 dangerous magical children are likely to bring about the end of the world. Arthur Parnassus. I listened to the audiobook, so I never had to say his name out loud. Parnassus is the master of the orphanage. He would do anything to keep the children safe, even if it means the world will burn, and his secrets will come to light. I obviously, as you can see, it's part of my five-star list. 10 Toes Down, love this book. If you want to read a analogy type book, this is a great one, for the fact that it is not only writing this love story case, I wouldn't say love story, but there is a love story in here, but this case for just, the sense of trans kids are kids, and just, love them as they are. They're going to be who they are, and that's it. And you should just, accept them. And we see this through the children, these magical children who have their own, like, diverse magical powers and different personalities, and they are just seen as, like, these monsters just because of what they can do. So, you know, like, X-Men, but children. Because that was part of X-Men, right? The orphanage. Okay. So X-Men for children, and queer love story. It's very cute. You get to see Linus really grow as a character as he's, you know, trying to be very strict by the book, caseworker. It's also a very compelling story for, you know, children in orphanages, who are orphans. Like, adopt more children. I don't know. Like, if you want children, adopt them. We have so many already. Stop making more. Yeah. Anyway. It was a great read. Loved it. And I also rated, where is it? Somewhere Beyond the Sea, the sequel by T.J. Klune, as 5 stars as well. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't rate it as 5 stars. It was 4.75. Oops, my bad. But it's high up there. It's great. So yes, it's a duology. You should read it. I love it. It's great. If you want to see magical children with powers who have their own personality. And if you want to see the child of Satan, his name is Lucy. I love Lucy. His name is Lucifer, but they call him Lucy. Love that kid. He likes records. Such an odd tidbit to give you. Oh, and this is the first one on the list that I actually wrote the reason why I rated it 5 stars, so I'll share it with you. I absolutely love this book, the way that the children characters, why did I say children characters? I should have just said children, are written is so heartwarming and emotional, as it can be seen as an allegory for so many different groups of marginalized children. Arthur and Zoe being the adults that are surviving and trying to create positive change for children similar to them as they have experienced what these children had in the past. Beautiful story I couldn't get enough of. All true. Moving on. I've talked enough about the joys of trans kids and why you should love trans kids just cause. Just cause. Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. I love this one. I was very worried about it because my particular pet peeve about reincarnation, because I love reincarnation stories as well, is that, talking about Our Infinite Fates and reincarnation, love reincarnation stories. Oh, because it died. My thing died. Well, I won't wear it then. Is they always just make the couple, like, if the couple is straight, they're always just a straight couple. If the couple is gay, they're just always a gay couple in every reincarnation. This one doesn't do that. This one actually has them switch genders based on, like, you know, sometimes they're both women, sometimes they're both men, sometimes they're heteronormative, throughout their, like, their multiple lives. But it was such a great story, and I'm so happy that the author made them switch, like, basically switch genders throughout their lifetime, is what I'm trying to say. Because, you know, like, the probability of them being a straight couple every lifetime? Come on now. Come on now. Anyway, I will read you the description. They loved each other in 1,000 lifetimes. They've killed each other in every one. Evelyn remembers all her past lives. She also remembers that in every single one, she's been murdered before her 18th birthday by Arden, a supernatural being whose soul and survival is tethered to hers. The problem is that she's quite fond of the life she has now, and her little sister needs her for bone marrow transplants in order to stay alive. If Evelyn wants to save her sister, she'll have to 1. Find the centuries-old devil who hunts her through each lifetime before they find her first. 2. Figure out why she's being hunted and finally break their curse. 3. Try not to fall in love. This book, loved it. Made an entire playlist, made an entire Sweetling Writes post, so if you follow me on Substack, that's in there. There's a post about this book. I have a spoiler version and a non-spoiler version. I also read this for book club. So glad I picked it. So good. I love the twists and turns that we get, and like where we start in their lifetimes is basically so if you don't like the switching in time periods, it might bug you a little, but it definitely makes sense for this one to do it, in the sense that like they are in different places as well. So they've lived a life in, I think it was El Salvador once. They lived a life in Russia once. They lived a life in the U.S. once. So they're not only just being like reincarnated, they are different people and they look different each time. So it's very diverse, even though it is mainly just the same 2 characters. And the twists and turns, oh, love them. I love when we get to the actual truth of like how this story started and their curse and how this curse started. But it starts in like their present day, which I think was like set in 2024, and then goes back each lifetime. So they every 17 to 18 years they're going back in time, and we're flipping between the present time and then one of their past lives, the present time and then the past life before that past life, present time, and so on and so forth. But I absolutely love this book. It's very plot and character driven. I love the characters. Part of their flaws is a part of like the main focus. Would I say there's strong character development? I'd say a mix. And like I said, because they're switching not only regions and countries, but also gender, it's a very diverse, but it's mainly focused on them. So, hands down, loved it. Can't wait to read it again. I don't know, who knows? Maybe I'll listen to the playlist I made after I film this video. Next one is Vampires of El Norte. Oh, it's by, let's see. Ooh. Isabel Canas? It's got an N-Y. So Canas? Okay. I love this book. As you know, I love vampires, but like the vampires aren't they're there, but like they're not the focus. The characters are. So I'll read you the description. As a daughter of a rancher in 1840s Mexico, Nena knows a thing or two about monsters. Her home has long been threatened by tensions with Anglos, I'll let the Anglo-Saxons, Anglo settlers from the north, but something more sinister lurks near the ranch at night. Something that drains men of their blood and leaves them for dead. Something that once attacked Nena 9 years ago. Believing Nena dead, Nestor has been on the run from his grief ever since, moving from ranch to ranch, working as a vaquero. But no amount of drink can dispel the night terrors of sharp teeth. No woman can erase his childhood sweetheart from his mind. When the United States attacks Mexico in 1846, the two are brought abruptly together on the road to war. Oh, I loved this book. It was very good. It was great. I usually dislike miscommunication between characters when it happens, but this one was kind of justified in the sense that, you know, he literally thought that she was dead, and she just thinks that he, like, abandoned them. But I love a good historical story, and I think this one does a great job at it. And I don't know, you have to read it. Like, you have to read it. You have to immerse yourself in it. It was so good. The conflict with the vampires, great. I enjoyed the kind of like twists and turns that happened in the story with them. And it has a happy ending for them, which I love. I won't say how, because you should just read it, but like, you know, you just love when things work out, and it has that. And a splash of vampires. It's very character driven. I loved the characters. It's not really like based off of their flaws, it's just kind of based off of like what happened. There is strong character growth, and it's kind of it is a book about, you know, Mexicans in the 1840s, so yes, it is diverse. Okay, next one. A Sweet Sting of Salt. Oh, I love this one. I tried to get my sister to read it. I don't know if she ever read it. If she's watching this, read The Sweet Sting of Salt. A Sweet Sting of Salt. Jeez, there's a lot of S's in there. By Rose Sutherland. There's a lot of S's. Read it, please. And I'll tell you why. So, the description, I'm only reading like half of the descriptions for these. There's a bit more in there, but I can't be bothered to read them all. Can't be bothered to read the whole thing as I'm making a video about my 5-star reads. Once a young woman uncovers a dark secret about her neighbor and his mysterious new wife. She'll have to fight to keep herself and the woman she loves safe in this stunning queer reimagining of the classic folktale, The Selkie Wife. Loved it. I know about like the Selkie tales, you know, like folk tales about Selkie, but I personally I've actually never read The Sulky Wife. This is great. It was queer. It's got lesbians. Love it. Unfortunately, it's always a man doing something he shouldn't. And this time it's stealing a Selkie woman and making her birth his child. What was I going to say? Jean. There we go. Her name is Jean. But you know, you can't have her give birth without, you know, a midwife. And Jean's the only one. And she falls head over heels with this Selkie woman. And basically she's Mr. Cerulean. And and it was great to see. I loved it. I think it's like set in like Wales. It's definitely set in England or Ireland. I'm sorry that I can't remember which one. I'm sure that you guys hate that. To be like, is it set in England or Ireland? Why don't you know? But I love it. It's a great book. You're at least in my opinion, you're rooting for them the whole time, and I'm just rooting for them the whole time. And it's a very heartfelt story. Love it. I actually wrote a summary, a reason why I loved it, so I'll give that to you. A beautiful and captivating novel with the lore of the Selkie mixed in with queer fiction. I feel like I was hearing a movie be described to me. I enjoyed Jean as the strong-willed character that she is, and the intelligent Myriam, I believe that's how you say her name. That is the Selkie woman, in the unfortunate situation that she found herself in. Loved it. It's great. Talking about it makes me want to read it again. And like I said to my sister, you should read it. And if you haven't, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you should read it. And then I'll read one of the books you recommended me. Howl's Moving Castle is the next one. By Diana Jones. So my disclaimer for this is that I watched Hayao Miyazaki's movie first before I read this book. However, that did not take anything away from how I felt about this book. It's not important to the story, but usually when I watch the movie before I read the book, it gives me a bit more appreciation for both the original and this like movie remake. And so far that has been the case for a few of the things that I've watched and then been like, well, let me read that. So yeah, just, you know, offhanded tidbit there. But if you don't know Howl's Moving Castle, I'll read you the description and then I'll talk about why I love it. Sophie has the great misfortune of being the eldest of 3 daughters, destined to fail miserably should she ever leave home to seek her fate. But when she unwittingly attracts the ire of the Witch of the Waste, Sophie finds herself under a horrid spell that transforms her into an old lady. Her only chance at breaking it lies in the ever-moving castle in the hills, the wizard Howl's castle. To entangle the enchantment, Sophie must handle the heartless Howl, strike a bargain with a fire demon, and meet the Witch of the Waste head-on. Along the way, she discovers that there is more to Howl and herself than first meets the eye. This is a trilogy. I've only read the first one. I am dying to read the other two. I think I have the other two. I think I bought them. I can't remember. I don't have access to my book collection right now. I loved it. It was great. If you have seen the movie, you should definitely read it. There are things that are different, but if you take it from the standpoint of like, okay, yes, a movie is only, 2 hours, usually max 3. What doesn't appear in the movie versus what appears in the books kind of makes sense. We do have a bit more of an enemies to lovers going on though in the book for Howl and Sophie, if you were aware or if you weren't. So if you like enemies to lovers, this does a great job at it. And I love Sophie's characterization more here than in the movie. She's great in the movie, but in here, don't mess with Sophie. In the book, don't mess with Sophie. You'll figure out why when you read it, because you learn that little bit of twist and turn. You're like, oh. I could probably do a whole analysis on the movie versus the book. I actually might, because I enjoyed both formats. So I'll have to write that down. No, I mean actually write that down. Please. So I remember to do this. But it's great. It is technically a middle grade novel, but like it doesn't feel like a middle grade novel. It's great. I love it. I'm dying to read the next two. Trying to get my grubby little hands on it and read them, to find out what else happens. Because there was a lot, and there's a lot more that goes on. There's some characters that we could probably get more information about, and other things. Loved it. Great. Probably will make that video soon. Hopefully. I'll put it in rotation. Okay. Next. Another vampire book. Interview with a Vampire. I love this book. This book is messy. I loved it. It's great. I have seen the movie and I have seen the first season of the TV show. I started the second. I haven't finished it yet. And if you read the book or watched the movie, you know why I haven't finished the second season. I don't want to see it yet. But I rated the first book, Interview with a Vampire, as 5 stars. Can I tell you why? No, not really. It just is. It's messy. It's great. It's got vampires with homoerotic tension. It's deep. Claudia, my love, Claudia. She did not deserve what happened to her. I have not read any of the other ones. I tried to read is it the Prince Lestat? Or is that one later? Listen, I know Lestat has 2 books named after him. So, whatever book 2 is here, actually, let me find out. I was like, I have the information right in front of my face. Hold on. The Vampire Lestat. There we go. Because there is one later on called the Prince Lestat. Or just Prince Lestat. The Vampire Lestat. I started reading that one. My goodness. He's so self-centered. Anyway. know nothing about Interview with a Vampire, thank you for writing that down. If you know nothing about Interview with a Vampire, it's the story of it's the story of Louis and how he becomes a vampire during New Orleans after losing his wife and child, and I believe he's like starts gambling. He meets this vampire Lestat, and Lestat's like, I want you to be my companion. And Lestat is very much the like, to a T. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the start of the remorseful vampire trope. Like, he is very much the remorseful vampire. Very woe is me. If you've seen the movie or the show, you should entertain reading the book. If you just love vampires in general, you should read the book. But I will warn you, the series has 12 books, I think. 13 books, so that's why I've only read the first one. That's a lot of books to get through. It's by Anne Rice, if you didn't know. Okay, moving on. The Perks of Being a Wallflower. By Stephen Chbosky? Is that him? Chbosky? That's such an interesting last name. Perks of Being a Wallflower. Rated at 5 stars. This book had me weeping. I did watch the movie before I read the book. You know, so one of those, like... But this one, I think, pretty to, like, I would say for how the book is written, the movie does a really good job. Because the book is mainly just, like, if not entirely, Charlie's diary entries. Yes, yeah. Because the description is Charlie is a shy and introspective boy, a wallflower always standing on the edge of the action. We learn about him through the letters he writes to someone of an undisclosed name, age, and gender. Can I, like, 100% fully tell you what I remember of this book? No, not really, because the movie is cycling through my brain, but I do plan to reread it again, and we'll see if I feel the same, and if I feel like it's still 5 stars, and if I'm gonna cry my eyes out again. Okay, so the next one, my forever love that I will never stop talking about, and never stop recommending so I can have more people be tortured and if you know, you know, and you know it's coming, it's the Foxhole Court. Honestly, it's the entire series. I put it on here. It's the entire series. The Foxhole Court. Sorry for yawning. The Foxhole Court. The Raven King and the Kingsman. Well, actually, no. I didn't rate the Raven King 5 stars. I rated that one 4. So, the Foxhole Court and the Kingsman. Don't talk to me about book 2. Listen. Don't talk to me about book 2. I'm just gonna read you what I wrote for my why I rated it 5 stars. So this is my 3rd time rereading the series. And despite the fact that maybe 25% or more of the book isn't realistic, which turns out there has been some real life events that have come out, and the fandom was like, yo. So I may have to retract that statement. But the books are intriguing to where I personally didn't care if it was plausible because I genuinely enjoy the book. I like to reread them as an escape for things going on in my life or just to pass time. It's truly a great read, and that's why I rated it 5 stars. I love this book. 10 toes down. I stand on business with this book. I still haven't finished writing my script so that I can explain to you in detail the entire plot of this book, because I know some people look at a book and it's like it's self-published. What? I'm not gonna read that, or like for whatever reason, because you can't get it at a bookstore. Unfortunately, it's only available online, or you can purchase a copy through Amazon. Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for Nora Sakavic. That's the author, by the way. Still waiting for Nora to maybe expand, but she's giving us more content, so I can't make any demands. I can't make any demands right now. Right now the series has 5 books out. There's going to be a total of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. It's going to be a total of 8 of them. There's only 5 out right now. But if you want a new obsession and you want to talk to me about it, this is how you hook, line, and sinker. Just start talking to me about this. It's my all-time favorite series. Don't ask me why. At this point, I don't know. Okay, moving on. I have some short stories in here that I wrote as 5 stars. 2 of them are by Charles W. Chestnutt, which is What is a White Man and the Passing of Grandison. I know there is a reason why I rate these 5 stars, but honestly at this point I cannot remember in detail why. But since they are on this list, I'm telling you about it. So I'm very excited to reread those and figure out why I rated them 5 stars and actually put in why, because I didn't put in why, and I don't remember. Which is unfortunate. I've read too many books now that I can't remember all the books that I've read and why I rated them the way I rated them, if I didn't put a reason why. Same goes for the next one, Juletane by Myriam Warner-Vieyra I think that's how you say her name, and Betty Wilson. Oh, heartbreaking. And I don't remember how it ends. It is less than 200 pages. It's very slow paced, very emotional. I'll read you the description. When Helen is packing up her belongings in readiness for her imminent move and marriage, she unearths a faded old exercise book As she reads, she cannot anticipate the effect it will have upon her own future. It is the diary of Juletane, Juletane, I believe. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. It's just a little sad. A young West Indian woman, written over 3 weeks, it records her short life, her lonely childhood in France, her marriage to an African student, and her eager return with him to Africa, to the land of her ancestors. In stark contrast to her naive illusions, the social realities of traditional Muslim life and their cultural demands on her as a woman threatens to drive her to unendurable extremes of loneliness and complete annihilation. She is a foreigner in spite of the color of her skin. So sad. I really want to read it again so I can, just remember why I rated it 5 stars, but also because I have a compiled idea of what happened in this book, but it is still not everything that happened in the book. And I just think it's such a beautifully written, unfortunate story. So that's why it's on my 5-star list. Like I said, I can't wait to reread it. Moving on is Felix Ever After by Kacen Callender. This one I also wrote in 5 stars. I think if I reread it again, I don't think it'll be 5 stars. But at the time, it was 5 stars. So, Felix's love has never been in love. And yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many, Black, queer, and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. I thought it was cute. I thought it was so adorable. Everything I've read by Kacen Callender so far, love. Hurricane Child, Felix Ever After, King of the Dragonflies, which I just recently read. All very good. Love them to death. My next one is I Wish You All the Best by Mason Deaver. Oh, I loved this book. It was great. That's why it's on my 5 stars. It's on my 5-star list. My story graph decided to crash on me. This one is about a non-binary kid who doesn't, and frankly, it is not safe for him to stay, for them to stay with their parents. So they move in with their older sister and her husband. I loved it. It was very heartfelt. They say if you like Adam Silvera, because I've only read one Adam Silvera book, but if you like Adam Silvera as an author, this is a great book. I'll read you the description because I have it here. I had to open my story up on my phone. When Ben de Becker comes out to their parents as non-binary, they're thrown out of their house and forced to move in with their estranged older sister Hannah and her husband Thomas, who Ben has never even met. Struggling with anxiety disorder, compounding by their parents' rejection, they come out only to Hannah, Thomas, and their therapist, and try to keep a low profile in their new school. I loved it. It was a great read. I think it was a great story for, like, with a non-binary character at the center, because there are not too many, at least not too many that I personally have seen being talked about and read about a non-binary character as the main character. It was very cute. There was some, like, you know, heart-wrenching moments, but there always is, because unfortunately that is a large, like, a large truth within queer communities, is that there's always just something heart-wrenching, and it usually has to do with the relationship between the queer character and the people around them in an unfortunate way. It has a great ending. I loved it. It's very, I'd say it's very character driven. It is diverse in the sense that who the main character, like the main character and their love interest, it is diverse in that way. I wouldn't say it's like about their flaws, but more just them being who they are. And those stories are always gonna be my favorite. Let's see, because I have to pull my list back up. Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, I wrote as a 5-star read. I loved this book. It was great. The description is, when a newly completed PhD with her newly completed PhD in astronomy in hand, 28-year-old Grace Porters goes on a girls' trip in Vegas to celebrate. She's a straight A, work through the summer certified high achiever. She is not the kind of person who goes to Vegas and gets drunkenly married to a woman whose name she doesn't know, until she does exactly that. And I just think it's a great story, in my opinion, with just, you know, like, finding yourself and what you really want in life and who you want to be. I really enjoyed it. If I read it again, I don't think I'd rate it as highly as I did when I first read it, but I still believe that it is a really great book. And that is my 5-star list. So those are all the books that I rated 5 stars. Like I've said multiple times, I want to reread them all and see if my opinion will change. Some of them, like I said, I think some of them will change. Some of them, I think they'll stay. And if anything, it'll give me a chance to put in my, like, own personal review for them, so that I can give you that next time when I do this. But yeah. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me in my little new location setup. And hopefully it shouldn't be too long before my next video comes out. It should be sometime at the start of May. And I can hopefully give you some new news that I have been working on behind the scenes. If you follow my Substack, Sweetling Writes, you might get the answer sooner than you'll get than my YouTube channel will. So, but that is all. Thanks for joining me. Bye.